The sky over Lagos was still dark when Tari's aunt shook her awake. "Get up. Pack your things." Tari's heart pounded. She had lived with her aunt since she left the village at 10. Her parents had sent her with the hope that she would get an education, but instead, she became a servant, cooking, cleaning, and taking care of her aunt's little daughter while watching other children go to school. "Why, Auntie?" she asked, her voice trembling. Her aunt folded her arms. "I'm sending you back to the village. I need my house for myself. And my husband has been looking at you strangely. Before people start talking, you must go." Tari clenched her fist. It wasn't true. She had seen the way her aunt's husband looked at her, but she always avoided him. This was just an excuse. She had been saving small money, knowing that one day she might have to leave. As she packed, she carefully hid the little she had inside her wrapper. That morning, her aunt put her on a bus and sent her away. Back in the village, Tari's mother hugged her tightly, but she had nothing to offer. "You know we barely eat here, my daughter. What will you do?" "I have to go back. My exams are coming." Her mother sighed. The only person she could stay with in the city was her older sister, Rose. But when Tari arrived at Rose's house, she was met with cold eyes. "You came here without my permission." Rose sneered. "If you want to stay, you'll work for it." She was given no food, no kindness, only work. But Tari refused to give up. A university student, Aisha, noticed her struggle and began secretly giving her small money for food. Then one day, Rose called her. "Since you like school so much, here. Take this basin and go sell meat on the roadside. If you don't, you will starve." Then everything collapsed. One evening, Tari lost the money from her meat sales. She searched desperately, but it was gone. When she returned home crying, Rose and her daughter dragged her into a dark room. They tied her hands, stripped her, and stuffed dry pepper inside her private part. She screamed in pain. She was also on her period. The pain was unbearable. And so Tari faced the darkest moment of her life. Betrayed, beaten, and left with a scar that would never heal. But even in pain, even in suffering, her spirit did not break. For days, Tari could barely move. She stopped going to school. When her sisters heard what happened, they took her away. "There's a woman in the city looking for a house girl. You can work for her, and maybe she'll help you." That's when she met Madam Angie. First, Madam Angie seemed kind. Tari thought she had found a home. But soon, the truth was revealed. Madam Angie had no intention of sending her to school. Instead, she wanted a full-time servant. "Forget school. You'll work for me. That's enough education." Tari's heart shattered. One night, she decided enough was enough. She escaped with nothing but her determination. For months, she did all kinds of work, cleaning, selling, washing clothes, just to survive. She refused to let go of her dream. Then, one fateful day, she met Professor Daniels, a lecturer at a top university. He was impressed by her intelligence and resilience. "You don't belong on the streets. You belong in a classroom." With his help, Tari got a scholarship and was admitted into one of the best universities in the country. Years later, she graduated with top honors and was offered a prestigious job in a government institution. The same aunt who rejected her. The same sister who mistreated her. They came begging for her help. But Tari, now a powerful woman, smiled and walked away. Tari's story was one of pain, betrayal, and resilience. But in the end, She proved one thing: no matter how dark the road, if you don't give up, you will find your light.